Hello, guys, and welcome to our first edition of Fuck Your Fantasy Draft, Episode 1, Fuck Your Fantasy Team. That's what it's called. I'm Chase Almy, and I have with me the always beautiful Youngstown OG fuckboy, Brittany Mollis, brought to you by Jameson and Squirt.
I told you not to say that.
That is a Youngstown thing, I guess. I've never heard of anything like that.
It's not a Youngstown. Don't treat Youngstown like that, Chase. Youngstown's been. This is a Niles thing.
It's Niles, a what place?
Niles is on the suburb. It's like a Youngstown suburb. So it's like
a
pimple next to a butthole.
I got you. So like definitely the armpit of Ohio.
Pretty much.
Okay, I got you. No, we're good there. So this is the first episode. I've gotten a lot of questions about what is this show? Are you guys not talking about fantasy sports? Are you like giving people bad picks to fuck up their fantasy team? Like, is this just a ploy for you to talk to a Browns fan once a week on TV? And yes, all of those are correct. That's what we're doing here. Brittany has no football knowledge, and she is just here to kind of screw up your day and look pretty while she does it. So in her little Browns hat, right? Basically, we just say things to make T-shirts and try to sell them. So Brittany, like, what else are you doing besides this? Like, what else? I know you're the bird's eye view. If you guys look at our screen, it tells you that, we have at Bird's Eye View, which she's not a Cardinals fan, and at Cold Beers Chase. That's our Twitter handles. Check us out.
Yeah.
But what are you doing? Like what else? Like, your Browns tweeter, I guess? Is that what you do?
There's like, Twitter's like a really weird place, right? So there's this.
Oh
yeah. There's this little area of it where it's called Cleveland Twitter, and I don't know if it's like everywhere. I can only speak for Cleveland.
Right.
But basically, we just argue with each other about everything, and nobody ever wins. We're all kind of losers. And somehow, when I moved back to North Carolina, I became a very big part of this Cleveland Twitter base. I don't know why or how. Half the stuff I say on there is just, you follow me. It's half of it's just talking, and I can only get away with it because I'm kind of cute.
Right, yeah, and you're behind a little keyboard going away at. Like, I feel like you might be Cleveland's MGK, in the sense of like Cleveland's Eminem and you're MGK.
It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
I'm telling you guys, I'm on a roll. Like, we're going to have to put the caution wet floor sign down here pretty soon, because like I have given her way too many compliments.
You really have. You're really
gassing me. I mean, I gave you the nickname that we've now decided that's going to be on your tombstone. So
we're going to put it on shirts. They're going to fly off the shelves.
Right? Yeah, we're getting Youngstown OG fuckboy shirts with Brittany's emoji on it. So. But I think that'll be probably the number one selling shirt. Nobody wants a shirt of mine.
Probably. Although I don't even know if my Twitter followers are watching this. It's probably just my parents. Say hi.
My parents aren't watching. I didn't even tell my dad. He's a preacher. He'd be like, "Hey, you need to get in there and you need to stop talking about that." So
my mom didn't even know this was a thing until like an hour ago.
Now she's probably over there.
She's like, "What show are you doing?"
She's probably checking out Tom versus Time or whatever.
No, they're watching Carson.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's another thing, too, everyone. Yeah. We both live with our parents.
Yeah, that's why we're so good at fantasy sports, guys. We have the budget to, not worry about it. I'm overtaking my parents' guest bedroom. Last night while we were pre-showing, Brittany got to see my mom walk in. In a baggy shirt and some running shorts to try to find some Sunday school literature on the bookshelf to my right, which, is always great. And then my dad tells me that I need to keep it down,
What happens? That's what happens
That's what
when
happens
you
when
life. You end up right back where you started.
Right? Yep. Big dreams of grandeur. I moved to Dallas and I was going to do this and that. And now I'm calling football games on an AM radio station in Caney, Kansas. So, you know.
Oh, and everyone
happens.
check out, this is the couch, the upside down couch that I have when I eventually move out when I'm 50. So I have that. That's ready
That's
to go.
good.
Yeah.
So do we need to make like something that's on Facebook Live that people can see and YouTube that will basically say that if we're still just like living with our parents at 40, we're going to find out what's halfway between Youngstown and Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and get a 2-bedroom apartment?
You know, I think I'm going to ride this out as long as I can.
I don't know. They got to die sometime. That's what I've always heard.
No, I'm freezing mine.
Oh, you're freezing them?
Yeah.
See, I would
freezers and I could just pass them and say hi. That's the dream.
See,
Cheers.
I was wondering kind of how, you know, it would go with like that whole tree thing or whatever that they do. Like where they plant you and you come back as a ficus.
Oh, you believe in
But I think
reincarnation?
No, like you apparently like you get cremated and they mix your dust with potting soil and now you're like a ficus or
It makes
some
your
type of tree. Yeah. Yeah. My parents would come back as a ghost and bitch about how much water I was giving them. So that's how bad it is. But you know what? I think we should probably cover some fantasy stuff and fuck up these people's day because we have a lot of people watching. The only football thing on right now is a story about the Philadelphia Eagles, and no one wants to watch that.
True. I don't even know what you're talking about when you say that.
It was on. I don't think we can say it because they're real hardcore on shutting stuff like this down if we say it. So the FNL network.
Oh.
Yeah.
We can't say it?
We can't. They like to shut it down. I got my Twitter shut down for a week because during the not a catch deal with the Steelers last season, I accidentally shined my phone up to a TV and they just shut it down. Wasn't like I held it there.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. Mr. Goodell is not about anything that doesn't make him any money. But one last thing before we get into like fantasy sports and stuff that's going around the NFL. There was this really interesting thing that popped up on the local news here. Jinx High School, which is one of the nationally ranked high school programs in football, someone hacked their Twitter and said, "We're lucky to have Under Armour as our partner. We're just leaving that here." And I was like, there we go. Nothing like a good old Oklahoma high school football team going to chime in on the Colin Kaepernick deal.
You know what? I have thoughts.
I have thoughts too, but they're on my screen right now.
Huh?
So I have thoughts too, but they're on my screen right now.
Oh.
So what are your thoughts?
As far as Kaepernick goes, you know, my history with him goes way back, Chase.
Because you have the black quarterback thing you were telling me the other day.
I do. I love my black quarterbacks. They're my favorite. But I didn't like him. And let me tell you why. Back when Alex Smith was in San Francisco, I'm like a huge Alex Smith fan. Love him. So then once he got hurt and then Kaepernick came in, and then, you know, Alex Smith healed, and then he never got his job back. I hated Kaepernick. I was like, you son of a bitch. But now I'm a fan because I'm a huge liberal.
Well, there you go. That's. I mean, my whole thing with it was, and I never got a confirmation on if that was an accurate statement, was last year when Kaepernick said, if I got the chance to come back and play again, I would stand during the national anthem. I had heard that. I had heard that one. And, you know, I was a part of the mass that thought that he started kneeling because he lost that starting job. And I've always just been a fan of, you know, what you do on the field is what I like. I never liked Tim Tebow. and I went to my dad's church, and I got a rock thrown at me outside, and I was like, wow, they're going to stone me, because I was like, Tim Tebow is not a good quarterback. That's cool. He wears John 3:16 on his eye black, but that doesn't score touchdowns, and that's what he's there for. So I feel like, we've got all of this stuff going on. I was hoping for a drama-free football season, but between the Kaepernick Nike thing and what's going on in Pittsburgh that looks more like an episode of Maury than a football team, I think that we're going to have a lot of drama, because right now Le'Veon Bell is saying he is not the father of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that it might be a few weeks before he gets back.
Yes. And Browns
so that right,
rejoice.
Right. Yeah. I read who was it? Chad Green, that said that he feels like this would be like winning a Super Bowl for
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Josh Gordon. And this whole Bell thing is making that situation that was earlier on with the rumors of Dez going to Cleveland, and then a certain player deciding, I guess I'll show up now, kind of making that look like that was not as big of an incident.
That was brilliant. I think if that was their plan, I don't know that it was, but if it was their plan to say, you know what, we're going to scare Gordon into coming into camp by bringing in Dez.
Right.
It worked.
Yeah, it definitely did, because it was like, hey, we're bringing Dez in, and he's like, I'll be there at 11:15. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he was there the next day, ready to go.
Ready to go. But no, Le'Veon Bell said that they might be out a few weeks. One player I never saw names. One player quoted that you can take all the time you want. You can sit 10 weeks or whatever. And it's all over the franchise tag, because he wants to keep his value like he's a fucking comic book in one of those little plastic condom sleeve things. I don't know. Like, you've got a little bit more time left. You're not ever going to be one of the greatest there ever was or ever will be, because of the way the game is. You've